What's up guys, my name is Natalie and welcome to my Nook of Novels. So today I am going to be telling you guys my book wish list. So these are just books that I would like to read at some point. I do not own any of these, but some of them I can get from my library. But most of them are just things that I either want to buy at some point or get on Audible. I kind of have them categorized a little bit. I have a category for classics, things that I want on Audible, series that I want to finish, just general popular books, so books that I've heard about a lot on BookTube specifically, or there's a couple other ones that I've just heard about a lot somewhere else, I don't know, and also books that I want from my library. So some of them overlap a little bit, but there's not that many. I think mostly the ones that overlap are popular books and either a series I want to finish or library books that I want to get. This list was made a while ago and I have not really updated it that much since then, so if any of these are not up to date, as in I call it a trilogy and there's like 6 books in the series by now, I apologize. I am either unaware that that has happened or I just have not added it to the list and I don't catch it as I'm going through it right now. It's not that I just want to read the first 2 or 3 or whatever. I do want to read all of them. I just am unaware that there's more. So I'm gonna start by telling you guys about the classic books that I want. I'm not gonna really explain these a ton unless I just have something to say about them, but I feel like most of y'all will know generally what some of these classics are about, or you can probably find it somewhere. The first one is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I probably said that wrong. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Emma by Jane Austen. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And also just general fairy tales. Probably the Brothers Grimm tales, something like that. But I'm pretty sure those are the original fairy tales, which is what I'm looking for, not just like the Disney version of a lot of the fairy tales, which is kind of what most people associate with the fairy tales and not the original versions, but I really want to read the original ones. This next list is going to be some things that I want to get on Audible. That doesn't necessarily mean that I will get these on Audible, but there's just kind of ones that I'm generally eyeing on Audible specifically. So those are Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, that whole series. Pretty much all of the Leigh Bardugo books. So the Grisha Trilogy, and also I don't really know what the deal is with her other books, if they're one series or like 2, but Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which I think is a duology, and then King of Scars is separate, I think, maybe, possibly, not sure, and Rule of Wolves. So yeah, just those ones in that universe. School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani, I think is how you say her name. Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, and With the Fire and High by Elizabeth Acevedo. So now I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I want to get from my library. Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling, The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin, Crank and Glass by Ellen Hopkins, because I have Fallout, which is the 3rd book in that series, I think, so I need to get the first 2 and read them before I can read Fallout. The Dragon Slayers Academy series by Kate McMullen. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexandra Bracken. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner by Stephanie Meyer. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Cusack. And Revived by Kat Patrick. Next up, I'm going to talk about some of the series that I want to finish. The Transference Trilogy by Bethany Wiggins, books 2 and 3, which are The Dragon's Curse and The Dragon's Revenge. Pretty much the entire Wings of Fire series by Tui T. Sutherland, because I've read the first book before, but I would probably have to reread it anyway. Books 3 through the end of the Alex Rider series by Anthony Horowitz. I have the first one and I have read it, and I own the second one and I have not read that. But I plan on rereading the first one and reading the second one as well, and I would love to continue on with the rest of those if I enjoy the second one, which I definitely think that I will. Fingers crossed. Books 2 and 3 in the Ascendance Trilogy by Jennifer A. Nielsen, which are The Runaway King and The Shadow Throne. Books 2 through 4 in the White Rabbit Chronicles by Gina Showalter, which are Through the Zombie Glass, The Queen of Zombie Hearts, and A Mad Zombie Party. Books 2 and 3 of the Titanic Trilogy by Gordon Corman, which are Collision Course and SOS. And last but not least, books 2 through 4 in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco, even though I haven't read the first book, but I still want to finish up that series after I read the first book because I already know I'm gonna love it. So those books are Hunting Prince Dracula, Escaping from Houdini, Capturing the Devil, and I also want to read Becoming the Dark Prince, which I believe is a novella between the third and fourth book, but I'm not 1,000,000% sure about that. Now I'm going to talk about just general popular books that I've heard a lot about that I would like to read. The Harry Potter Illustrated Edition by J.K. Rowling, Hoot, Flesh, Scat, and Chomp by Carl Hassan, and I haven't really heard much about that one. I think that's just because I'm pretty sure I started to read one of those when I was a lot younger, and I really enjoyed it, but I never finished it, I don't think, for some reason, or maybe I did, but I just don't remember it. But I definitely want to read all of those again. The Arc of a Scythe series by Neil Shusterman, which is Scythe, The Toll, and Thunderhead. Orange Volumes 1 and 2 by Ichigo Takano, which is a manga series. The Ronin Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson, which is The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness. And there's also a... what's it called? What is it called? Novella. That's the word. There's also a novella called Morrigan that I would like to read as well. The Shadow Me series by Tahara Mafi, which is Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, Restore Me, Defy Me. And I would also like to read the novellas in that series, which are Destroy Me, Fracture Me, Shadow Me, and Reveal Me. The Starbound Trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, which are These Broken Stars, The Shattered World, and Their Fractured Light. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. The Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare, which is City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. The Peculiar Children series by Ransom Briggs, which are Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, Library of Souls, A Map of Days, and The Conference of the Birds, as well as Tales of the Peculiar. The Vampire Academy series by Michelle Mead, which are Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, and Last Sacrifice, as well as The Meeting and Homecoming, which are novellas. The Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, which is Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash, as well as The Assassin's Blade, which is a collection of prequel novellas. The Ember in the Ashes series by Saba Tahir, which is An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, Reaper at the Gates, and A Sky Beyond the Storm. The Caraval trilogy by Stephanie Garber, which is Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. The Crazy Rich Asians series by Kevin Kwan, which is Crazy Rich Asians, China Rich Girlfriend, and Rich People Problems. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Again, all of the Grisha trilogy books and the series after the Grisha trilogy, whether it's one series or 2 or 5, I'm not really sure. Hall's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne-Jones. Someone recommended me John Grisham's books at some point. I'm not really sure what any of his books are about or anything. I know that we have one of them, but it's not technically on my TBR. Again, Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. The Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer, which is Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, Winter, and the novella, which is Fairest. The Matched trilogy by Ali Condi, which is Matched, Crossed, and Reached. The Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab, which is A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. The Skyward duology by Brandon Sanderson, which is Skyward and Starsight. And I'm pretty sure there's a third book out now, actually, but I can't remember. There is, but I can't think what it's called off the top of my head. The Fifth Wave trilogy by Rick Yancey, which is The Fifth Wave, The Infinite Sea, and The Last Star. The Darkest Minds trilogy by Alexandra Bracken, which is The Darkest Minds, Never Fade, and In the Afterlight. The Diviners series by Lubba Bray, which is The Diviners, Layer of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, and King of Crows. The Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black, which is The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. And I think there might be a novella that goes with that as well, but I can't remember. Oh, and there's also Language of Thorns by Lee Bardugo as well in all of the Grisha universe. The Last Magician trilogy by Lisa Maxwell, which is The Last Magician, The Devil's Thief, and The Serpent's Curse. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. The Three Dark Crowns series by Kendare Blake, which is 3 Dark Crowns, 1 Dark Throne, 2 Dark Reigns, Five Dark Fates, and the novella, which is Queens of Finbar. Again, With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. The novellas from the Selection series by Kiera Cass, which are The Favorite and Happily Ever After. The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. The Illuminae Files by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, which are Illuminae, Gemina, and Obsidio, as well as the novella, which is Memento. The Kissing Booth duology by Beth Riekels, which is The Kissing Booth, and Going the Distance, as well as the novella, which is The Beach House. And the rest of these on this list are adult books, so I don't necessarily want to read them soon. I will probably enjoy them more as an adult, but I still want to read them at some point eventually before I die. The ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Silver Flames, and the novella, which is A Court of Frost and Starlight. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, maybe is how you say it. I'm not 100% sure. Brandon Sanderson's adult books. Robin Hobb's books. It by Stephen King, as well as some of his other books as well. The Kings of the Wild trilogy by Nicholas Eames, which is Kings of the Wild, Bloody Rose, and Outlaw Empire. Saga volumes 1 through 9 by Brian K. Vaughan. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And last but not least, Waiting for an Echo by Christine Montross. So that is all of the books that are on my wish list. I know that there's a lot of those. I don't know if I will get to all of those books by like 20 years from now, but hopefully I can manage to read all of those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these are also on your wish list, if you've read any of these, if you enjoyed them, things like that. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and hit the notification bell if you want to see the other videos that I post every single Monday. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!